Hi guys, it's Flip Flop Mountaineer and I'm welcoming you to our Fireside Chat, but this one is going to be a little spicy. I went to vote today and you just won't believe what happened when I went to do my early voting today. I live in small town America, y'all, and this is what happened. So, and when I say small town, I'm in Polk County, Tennessee. Very tiny. Most of our county is national forest, so there's not a lot of people that live here. And so early voting is held in town at a small, what used to be the public library. It's a very small building. And I get there and I pull in and there's this guy in a pickup truck that pulls in next to me, you know, and he is slightly in front of me as we walk in to give our driver's license and, you know, prove our identity to get our ballots. And so while we're waiting for them to check our driver's license, there was a woman that had already, you know, been inside the building and was waiting to be processed herself. And she was on the phone. She was on the cell phone. And she sounded like she was talking to a boyfriend or a husband, just because of the tone of the conversation. And she finally gets processed, gets her ballot, hangs up her call, and goes into the next room to vote, you know. And of course, in small town America, there's not that much to vote on. I think we maybe had 5 or 6 items total. You know, of course, one's the president, and then the rest were, you know, representatives and different things. So anyway, it's only 5 or 6 items, so it takes like 5 minutes, you know, to vote. So she's in first. The guy that, you know, pulled up next to me in the pickup truck, he gets processed, and he's maybe, I would say, 7 to 10 years older than me, and he goes in to vote, and then I get processed, take my ballot, go in to vote. So the lady that was on the cell phone, she of course finishes first, puts her, you know, ballot into the machine, and then leaves. And then the older guy that was parked next to me puts his ballot in, walks outside, and then I'm right behind him. So when I'm walking out to my car, we're parked right next to each other, and he just got this really nasty look on his face, and he said, "Did you see that?" And I said, "See what?" And he's like, "You didn't see that?" And I still wasn't sure what he was talking about. And then it hit me that he was talking about the woman that was in front of us on the cell phone. Because not only was she on the cell phone, but it was how she was dressed that he was really offended by. You know, she had a half top on, like a half halter top, and she had clothes that didn't leave much to the imagination at all, you know, and like he was like irate. And I just, when I pulled out, I was kind of in disbelief. I'm going, that's not what Jesus would do. It's not. And I'm going to show you why it's not what Jesus would do. Reminded me of 2 stories in the New Testament. And if you've never read the Bible, that's okay. I'm just going to tell you why that was not okay, that response. The first story that came to mind was the story where Jesus was a guest in somebody's house. And as it was custom in that day, when you're a guest and you're staying with someone, when you walked into the house, there was usually somebody there to wash your feet, you know, because back in that day, I've been over to Israel and it's a desert. So, I mean, if you think about the time that Jesus was walking the earth, it would have been dirty, you know, it would have been sandy. So it was customary for the guest and for the people entering the house to have their feet washed. Well, nobody had washed Jesus's feet. So here you go, guys. Here's spicy. So nobody had washed Jesus's feet until this woman comes up, takes this expensive bottle of perfume and washes his feet with this expensive bottle of perfume in front of everybody, okay? And then she takes her tears. She's crying, she's weeping, because apparently she recognized Jesus either as Messiah or she recognized him by the Spirit, that he was a prophet, you know. It doesn't really say. But anyway, she was moved and was washing the feet of Jesus, crying tears, and she was wiping it with her hair. And everybody in the room well, I shouldn't say everybody. Let me rephrase that. Some people in the room said, Jesus, if you knew who was washing your feet, you would not let her do it. She was a prostitute. Jesus rebukes them. And she says, he told them that from the moment I came in the house, nobody washed my feet. And the perfume that she used, I'm tearing up talking about it, but the perfume that she used, I forget, I'd have to go back and read the scriptures on it, but I think it was like a year's wages in this bottle of perfume that she used to clean the feet of Jesus, okay? So, I mean, it's not just a small thing. This was like very expensive, she was lavishing her love on the feet of Jesus. And she was, you know, it just wasn't right what happened to her. You know, she was a prostitute, and they looked at her like she was nothing, you know, and Jesus rebukes them. And it just reminded me of that today, you know, because I mean, you don't know the girl's story, you know, you don't know her history, and she maybe has never even been inside the walls of a church because of those kind of responses. So anyway, it just really, it made me mad, you know, to think that we can misrepresent, you know, who Jesus was when we're out there. We shouldn't misrepresent who he is. Okay, I'm gonna try to stop crying, y'all. And then the second story that it made me think of was Jesus. You know, he's out and he's thirsty, and he goes to get water, because back then there was no faucets, okay? He couldn't just turn on the sink. So he went to a well, and he meets this woman at the well. And, you know, Jesus is very relational, so he's having a conversation with this woman, and he proceeds to tell her, you know, about her life without her revealing it to him. Like he was prophesying, you know, he could see her life. And, you know, shared with her that the man that she was with was not her husband, and she's had several others, you know. So here again, and back in those days, the woman he was talking to was a Samaritan woman, and a Jewish rabbi was not supposed to be talking to a Samaritan woman, but he did. And she became the first evangelist in the New Testament. So there you have it. She went back and she told everybody in her city about this Jesus, and she shared the gospel with them. She shared, well, I mean, back then it would have been the gospel, but she shared her encounter with Jesus, and a lot of people got to know who he really was through her encounter. This woman who had several men, you know, that she wasn't even married to, and he wasn't even supposed to be talking to her. It was against the culture, and a rabbi should not be talking to a Samaritan woman. So it's juicy, y'all. That's what happened at the voting precinct. So it breaks my heart, because, you know, when we misrepresent who Jesus is and what he did, you know, he loves each and every person out there, you know. And the one thing that I learned, you know, as a mom myself, and this is something that the Lord just kind of taught me when we were walking through a difficult time. Hi everybody, thank you for watching this Fireside Chat. I hope you're getting something out of it. And I'm asking if you could on this one to just share it with 3 people. Whoever God puts on your heart, just share it with those 3 people. And it's not just about growing a channel, it's about growing God's kingdom and about sharing the good news of the gospel. So if you could help me with that, I'd greatly appreciate it. And of course, you know, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so now so that we can see each other again on these Fireside Chats. So thanks for watching. Let's get back to the content. So Jesus said to me, you need to just let them choose. I love you so much that I let you choose. Now you need to love them so much that you let them choose. But how are they ever going to know and meet him if we misrepresent him? And if we rebuke people who we don't even know the story, we don't even know the history, and we don't even know if they've even ever heard the gospel. We live in America, but not everybody has read the Bible. You know, not everybody grew up in church, and not everybody, even if you did grow up in church, not everybody knows the real Jesus of the New Testament. You know, the one that loved without boundaries, the one that left the 99 to go after the one, you know. So yeah, so anyway, tearing up. I told you it was a juicy one, spicy one today, but that's Fireside Chats. So you guys got to do me a favor. You got to like and subscribe. We're going to have some more Fireside Chats coming. But yeah, that's that's Fireside Chat, y'all. I just had to share what was on my heart, and that was really, really brewing, because it broke my heart, and I think it broke the Lord's heart too, you know, to see his response, you know, to a perfect, complete stranger who maybe we don't know her history, we don't know her story. And yeah, did I like how she was dressed? I wouldn't dress like that, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to condemn somebody for dressing like that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm challenging you to read the book. Start in Matthew, then Mark, then Luke, then John. The New Testament is full of all the juicy details that you need. That's the truth, and not what the religious would tell you. So anyway, Flip Flop Mountaineer, Fireside Chat, like and subscribe.